Let's go! Let's go!
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
You know what time it is. It's a Monday night. It's 7:30 Central. The dust is flying. This week it's going to be at Port Royal. It's the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour. Round number 5 here at Port Royal on the Outpost Racing Network. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Thank you for inviting us into your home here on a Monday night. It has been such a joy. Oh, there's a stray car down there. Oops, on the bottom left. Hope you didn't see that. Hey, no problem, no problem. It wouldn't be a Mac Nelson produced race if there wasn't just a little bit of stuff that went wrong. Like I said, we are in round number 5 of 12, so almost halfway through the season here tonight. We are at Port Royal. Next week, we go to Fairbury. It's going to be an 80-lap feature tasked in front of us here tonight. Well, being at Port Royal, it's only fitting we give you the track lore here tonight. Located in Port Royal, Pennsylvania. It is known as the Speed Palace. Port Royal Speedway is one of the fastest half-mile dirt ovals in the world. The Dirty Deeds 50 is Port Royal's marquee late model event. Next event, IRL, you can go up there April 11th. They're going to have 4 10 sprint cars and super late models on display racing. And ignore the graphic. Ignore the graphic up there. It says round 4. We are indeed on round number 5. So that is a big, big mistake. Heat race number 1 set to grid. With that, we'll get into your starting lineup. Sean Stapleton is going to be leading heat race number 1 with Dane Norris, Holden Allen, Nate Wimhoff, Devin Howard, Andrew Borton, Scott Merrick, Joshua Mulwee, Jesse Newsom, your championship leader, and Evan Horton rounding out the grid. Cars here at Port Royal getting set to take off. Oh, there we go. Okay. For some reason, I lost the cars for a second. Holden Allen here out in front. He is going to be starting this heat race off. Take a look at the upcoming schedule. We've got Port Royal tonight, Fairbury next week, Lucas Oil, and then I-55. That will get us 2/3 of the way through the season. Taking a look at the championship standings, Jesse Newsom still out in front with a 50-point lead over Jeffrey Hyatt. Willie Cuddy going to be in P3. Tyler Bickford, Chase Copeland, part of Midwest Sim Sports, rounding out your top 5. Mason Cassidy with a big jump this week. He was not even in the top 10, but after winning the 2nd race in a row last week, he is feeling himself. He sits in P6 in the championship. Appreciate everybody stopping in. People are asking on the downfall of Jesse Newsom. Well, I don't know if we're going to be seeing it here tonight. I'll be completely honest with you. This track kind of favors the driving style of Jesse Newsom. If you were to ask me, here we go, set to take off out of turn number 4. It's going to be Holden Allen who leads us away. We are green flag running here in the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour. Round number 5 at Port Royal. Look at Devin Howard. He's trying to feed the bottom, man. It looks like that might be where the speed is at. Sitting up here in the press box camera, it seems like the corners are a million miles away. It's a half-mile circuit here. Devin Howard in the 316 now falling out of the transfer spot. Remember, gentlemen and ladies, if you're watching, I know there are a lot of ladies into dirt racing, but ladies and gentlemen, we are only taking 3 drivers out of the heat races. So Holden Allen firmly in play. Dane Norris, Nate Wimhoff, Devin Howard. Oh, man, they are fighting. They are scrapping. Elbows out. It's time to go racing. Dane Norris in the number 115. He's feeling elemental. As he is going to be in P2, he is going to be a decently safe distance away from the number 316 of Devin Howard, who has to fight the 48 of Nate Wimhoff. Both of these drivers wanting to transfer. There's no doubt about that. Unfortunately, unless something happens to Holden Allen or Dane Norris, both of them will not be able to make it. One of them will be going to the consolation here tonight. As a final chance of making the race, Devin Howard is going to be on a big blinking spree. Oh no, there's a good chance he gets called back to the pits on that one. Nate Wimhoff going to be around, but it's going to be clean. 3 laps to go as we pass Barney in the flag stand. Nate Wimhoff. Wow, would you look at that? Nate Wimhoff, a little bit of wall tapping there in turns 1 and 2. I heard murmurs throughout the weekend that there was a little bit of a glitch here on Port Royal, and one of these corners you can kind of just get sucked up into the wall and it releases you out pointed the right way. You just hammer the throttle down the straight. Perfect grip. So white flag in the air. Dane Norris and Holden Allen having a very good battle. Unfortunately, we don't really care because this 3-way battle is for the final transfer spot. Nate Wimhoff, Devin Hauer, Scott Merrick. Nate Wimhoff's going to give the crossover to both Devin Hauer and Scott Merrick, and Nate Wimhoff is going to make it into the show. Holden Allen, Dane Norris, obviously moving on. Holden Allen is going to get that win by 2 100ths. Or sorry, not 100ths, 200ths of a second. And that is going to be heat race number 1. Down and dusted. We take a look at heat race number 2 here. Dwayne Hobbs in the 159 is going to be starting on pole with Landon Rourke in the number 10 machine. Outside row number 1, Colton Wilson, Brandon Jones going to make up row number 2. Row number 3 sees Logan Wentz and Willie Cuddy, who is very much invested into this championship hunt. Cameron Carrington, Jacob Isaac, Tyler Bickford, also sitting top 5 in the points, will be in this heat. And unfortunately, guys, there is a little bit of problem on YouTube's back end. Their Southeast server farms are experiencing a little bit of an attack right now. So streams are being downgraded against our wills, against our small channel's wills to make way for the big streamers. So for a portion of the broadcast tonight, the stream might seem choppy, laggy, blurry, pixelated. That is unfortunately nothing really on my end, as YouTube is controlling the amount of packets or the amount of bits that is being sent to them while they navigate this attack. So I do apologize for that. However, just as I say that, things seem to be picking up on my little meter here, on the little board I have that tells me the stats of the stream. So, hey, look at that. Maybe something happened. Oh, nope, and it's right back down. Hey, YouTube is a fickle little being, a little website, a little community. The iRacing official pace truck going to make its way around for the final time here to start heat race number 2. Going to pull off into the safety of the infield as the 159 and number 10 cross paths once again. I believe it was these two that had a big battle in week number 2 when we went. I don't remember where we were at in week 2, I'll be completely honest, but green flag in the air. Dwayne Hobbs, part of the 159 camp, part of BMSS. He is going to lead things up and away. Look towards the back, Willie Cuddy, trying everything in his power. Will get looked back up here into the press box as Willie Cuddy trying to make his way around the outside of Cameron Carrington there in the number 29. Willie Cuddy really needs to get past Brandon Jones here, but unfortunately, that's going to be Tyler Bickford. Or, no, I apologize, not Tyler Bickford. That's going to be your pole sitter, Dwayne Hobbs. And he is just back in the pit. He doesn't have a tire. Oh, no. What happened to Dwayne Hobbs? As Willie Cuddy fighting for his life, he's got a cascading row of cars. They're going to spread out now, but he's got Cameron Carrington and Tyler Bickford right behind him. They're both wanting to fight. They're both wanting to take advantage of the situation that has been laid at hand. Dwayne Hobbs was running fantastically, and all of a sudden just does not have a right front tire. 5 laps to go. It's going to be 4 now since we're crossing the start-finish line. Willie Cuddy, Brandon Jones, Landon Rourke is going to be your ascension up the grid when it comes to the transfer spots. Willie Cuddy just kind of driving his own race, not really attacking, but also really no need to defend, so he's just trying to extend this lead as much as possible here. Tyler Bickford, chances are slipping away for one of the championship contenders here. Round number 5 at Port Royal. This is kind of the gateway from the first half of the season to the second half of the season. I'd say this race next week at Fairbury going to be that gateway. You're going to want to do decently here tonight at Port Royal and as well as next week at Fairbury, because that momentum can lead to a second half push towards the championship. And if Tyler Bickford cannot score any points here tonight, that will be devastating for his championship aspirations. White flag in the air. Unfortunately, your 3 drivers are going to be uncontested. They're going to kind of walk away with this one. Landon Rourke, Brandon Jones, Willie Cuddy. Going to be the 3 that are through into the feature. Tyler Bickford going to bring it home in P4, so he will start in the front row in one of the constellations, assuming we have multiple. Heat race number 3 is coming up. That being said, let's get down to your starting grid. It's going to be Chase Copeland, part of Midwest Sim Sports, in the 110. He was on the first episode of the Bulletin Board. Second episode going to be here tonight with Jesse Newsom, so stay tuned for that. That will play during the warm-up before the feature. Cody McDonald going to be on the outside of him. Dylan DeWert, Christopher Perini going to be in row number 2. Justin Henderson, Dylan Del Mastro, part of Black Magic Sim Sports. He is going to be outside row number 3. Like I said, Justin Henderson going to be inside that row. Sam Bachman, the FTM driver, with Anthony Moreno, another FTM driver, going to make up row number 4. Jaden Sparisky is going to be P9. Well, the pace car is set and ready to pull off. It's going to be the 63 and the 62. As I apologize, I hate to do this for you gentlemen, but I did just realize that I do have a setting wrong, so I am going to go change that for you. There we go. So now the timing tower should not mess up by any means. There is currently a bug with iRacing where the max setting that you just saw me change doesn't actually work, so you have to pick the highest setting that is an actual number. Very, very, very silly, I would say, on the iRacing development team, but they do produce the best sim in the world. So yeah, Chase Copeland, Cody McDonald going to be your front row sitters, and now everything should kind of line up into play. iRacing official pace truck is going to pull off on that back straight, and that means it is going to be on Chase Copeland. As he brings them around turn number 4, we're set to begin heat race number 3 here in the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour. Chase Copeland off to an incredible start. The Reedland, Kentucky driver, part of Midwest Sim Sports. Look at the focus behind him. Christopher Perini, Cody McDonald, Dylan DeWert. Cody McDonald, Dylan DeWert inside of the top 10 of the championship standings. It would be a very fantastic thing if they could get into the show and not have to worry about the huss and fuss of AB Main. Christopher Perini now part of Midwest Sim Sports in the number 36. 13 on the car, however, he is chasing down Dylan DeWert, but he has to worry about the other Dylan. Dylan Del Mastro throws a slider down right in front of him. Christopher Perini going to try to use the lower line to hit that crossover. Get back in front of him. Oh, and he's going to slide up in front of Dylan DeWert. We're going to be 3 wide now, coming down 5 laps to go. And in turn number 1, oh no, Perini and Dylan DeWert, they just missed the corner. They just straight lined into the wall. What in God's name is happening at Port Royal? Let's go back and take a look. Oh no, so just a little bit of contact and it's going to upset both of their cars just enough. I mean, in sync, no Justin Timberlake, but they did the exact same thing there. And the 007 is going to get caught up in it as well. Oh no, so 2 FTM drivers actually going to get caught up in it. I believe there might have been Justin Henderson and Anthony Moreno. No, maybe Sam Bachman. I believe it was Sam Bachman and Anthony Moreno. Very, very unlucky on the side of both of those drivers. Meanwhile, Chase Copeland's still going to be out in front in that number 110. He's been rocking that paint for a couple weeks now. I figured he might change, but I guess he's a little too lazy to load up Photoshop and make himself a new paint, so he's going to rock with the same old, same old. Chase Copeland, obviously, in a big hunt for the championship. It's right there for him to take. If we bring in the championship points, you can see he is just on the edge of that top 5. He trails his teammate Tyler Bickford by 20 points. And then from there, it's another 15 up to the top 3 in Willie Cuddy. But it's an all coast-to-coast and Midwest top 5 in your championship standings. As it sits right now, who will be in front by the time the final checkered waves here tonight? That's what we'll find out. We'll have that answer here in about an hour for you guys, so if not an hour, then maybe an hour and a half, but either way, it's going to be very fun, very good racing, so make sure you stay tuned. As iRacing official pace truck still not going to be out. Still not going to be out for whatever reason. White flag in the air. And oh, this is just going to end under caution, I believe. As heat race number 3, I believe, is going to see Chase Copeland, Cody McDonald, and Dylan Del Mastro get through. Oh, no, I take that back. The timing tower did say the white flag was in the air. However, pace truck did pull in. It is going to be a single file start. We'll have to see. The SDK doesn't like to account for non-counting laps on the caution. So yeah, we're only on lap 4, gentlemen. We still got 4 laps to go here. Things are very much still in question. Cody McDonald, Dylan Del Mastro battling there for P2. They're both going to make it into the show as long as they don't scam. And Chase Copeland in the 110 wants no part of that. He's going to try to get out to a lead as quick as possible. Jaden Sparisky, who started the race in P9, has found himself up to P4. It'll help him out in the starting for the consolation, but as of right now, he is not making the show, and he's going to get rear-ended by Anthony Moreno. Anthony Moreno in the 32. He's a full-throttle motorsports driver. Chase Copeland setting fastest lap by a 10th with an 18.35. He is absolutely cooking. He had 2 sticks down last time. This time it's going to be the wave of the white flag here at Port Royal. Heat race number 3, I believe. Set to wrap up, 1 lap to go. It's going to be Chase Copeland out of Farlam, Kentucky. He is going to take the checkered flag here in heat race number 3, and he's going to be into the feature. Dylan Del Mastro, Cody McDonald also getting there. Jaden Sparisky, after starting P9, he brought it within half a second of the transfer. He could not make it all up, though. That's going to be him starting in a B main. Heat race number 4 set to kick off here. We'll go over your starting grid. It's going to be Jacob Owens, Jason Wilson, James Gray, Amber Woods, Brandon Schatz, part of Midwest Sim Sports, Tyler Nauf, part of Excel Sim Sports. They are going to share row number 3. Kyler Bronson, Jeffrey Hyatt, and James Murphy going to round out your grid. James Murphy, might I add, is in the top 10 for the championship. So the Twisted Speed guys do have one driver up there in the top 10. Can he have a good result here tonight? There's a very good chance. That is a very, very fast driver. As once again, guys, I apologize for the problems on YouTube's end here. Unfortunately, I keep trying to check and see if they're maybe giving any updates on when it will be complete or when they expect the attack to be over. And all of that stuff. Unfortunately, not really looking like it's going to be anytime soon. So once again, guys, I really do apologize for that. You know, maybe that just opens my eyes into a multi-streaming kind of platform, so that way if one platform isn't, you know, having unavoidable problems like that, maybe viewers can switch over to another platform. But that's a discussion for another time, as the iRacing official pace truck is going to pull in to the safety of the infield. These drivers have all to gain, nothing to lose, because it's only a heat. There's nowhere to go besides the Consi. We're green here at Port Royal. 3 wide for P3. That's Tyler Nauf, Brandon Schatz, and James Gray there. James Gray in the number 76 trying to get active on that top side. The top of the track starting to come in. Kyler Bronson just takes the real estate from James Gray. Kyler Bronson. Or I apologize, that's not Kyler Bronson. That is Tyler Nauf in the number 41. Look at them, they're getting rowdy. Oh no, and it's going to be a big clog up in the back. James Murphy is just getting drove through. Oh no, Jason Wilson now, he is out in the lead. Started this race in P1. Brandon Schatz going to be right behind him. 5 laps to go. Kyler Bronson has now slid up into P3. So Kyler Bronson having one heck of a heat race here. As you hear the cars coming by, the roar of those super late models, man, it's a pleasure to hear. And it's an honor to see these drivers, the top 1% of dirt drivers, here in the iRacing official service. They are battling it out here in the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour. There you see the 21 of Jacob Owens. He's trying to find any room he can to breathe, but there is not going to be any, as the top 3 are spread out again, just like we saw in heat race number 2. It's going to be Jason Wilson, Brandon Schatz, and Kyler Bronson out in front of everybody. Kyler Bronson running a purple lap there with an 18.36. Jeffrey Hyatt has had a bit of a crash. He is going to go ahead and make it back into the pits, though. He is going to recoup, get ready for his B-main run here. As look at Kyler Bronson, it's going to be a crossover on the white flag. He is now leading. Kyler Bronson up from P7. Almost the last row on the grid. He's going to duck down to the inside, make sure nobody can get it done easy. Kyler Bronson is going to win this heat. Brandon Schatz, look at Schatzy in P2. Jason Wilson's going to transfer out. That's P3. James Murphy, Jeffrey Hyatt, both going to have to make it through the consolations. Which, speaking of, now is the time as we get set to do battle here in the consolation. Driver's going to have one more chance to make the show. Devin Hauer is going to start on pole, part of Full Throttle Motorsports in the number 316. Jaden Sparisky, Andrew Borton, Anthony Moreno, Scott Merrick, Sam Bachman, Evan Horton, Justin Henderson, Joshua Mulwee, Dylan DeWert, Jesse Newsom, and Christopher Perini. Gonna make your grid here for consolation number 1. I believe it's going to be top 6 that make it. As I'm getting confirmation. Yes, I just got confirmation from admin Dana Burdick. Thank you very much, Mr. Dana. He has said 6 drivers will make it through here tonight. As we get set to go 16 laps here at Port Royal. It's going to be one heck of a time, that I have no doubt about. As the iRacing official pace truck is going to make its way in this time around. We're going to go racing here in the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour. It's going to be consolation number 1 here on the Outpost Racing Network. Thank you guys so much for joining us here tonight to witness the greatness that is Dirt Oval Racing. Devin Hauer set to get things started. He is going to take off early into the exit of 4. And we are green here, top 6 advance. If this is your first Outpost Racing Network broadcast that you've watched, just know, oh no, that's a lot of drivers. That's a lot of drivers being dismissed. Christopher Perini, Evan Horton, Scott Merrick, I think Dylan DeWert caught some action as well. Oh no. We'll have to go back and take a look at that. We'll have to see. In the Racer Nexus blimp, or I'm sorry, in the Outpost Racing Network. Sorry, I got it mixed up with the other company that I do broadcasting for. Yeah, that's just going to be a big, big hit. I mean, look at that. As we take a look back at the blimp, you see the position of Scott Merrick here. As he is going to get into what looks like the number 3. And they're just going to run all over each other, and then bang! Jesse Newsom's going to make it out, but just barely, man. Just barely. As I was saying before the yellow, though, if you're unaware, here on the Outpost Racing Network, when we're in the constellations like this, we like to keep the camera on that hot spot, on that final transfer spot. It always seems to kick off during the LCQs. That's when you know you've got yourself a race. There are no more opportunities. You've got to get it done then and there. Drivers will be very, very racy, very, very elbows out. It's always a blast to watch. As we get a look at our grid, they're going to make it one more time around before the iRacing official pace truck is going to pull things off. And we will officially be ready to race. We've got some Midwest Sim Sports love in the chat. Remember, guys, sound off on whoever you are rooting for. Whether that be a coast-to-coast driver, a Midwest Sim Sports driver, Twisted Speed, Speed Ranch, Full Throttle Motorsports, just to name a few of the fantastic teams that are represented here in the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour. Remember, guys, next Monday, 7:30 Eastern, or 7:30 Central, I apologize, we will be live from Fairbury. It's going to be some short track, God-level racing. I cannot wait. iRacing official pace truck still not going to pull off. As I'm not entirely sure what the entire holdup is here. As will we see it duck down? Yes, we will. iRacing official pace truck gonna pull it in, which means the gloves are off. It is now time to go racing. Drivers didn't get very many laps completed at all. As a matter of fact, I don't think they even got a single whole lap completed. So when we go green here, there's a very good chance we're going to have, okay, 14 to go. Jesse Newsome, your current championship leader, is going to be sitting in P8, now P6, after passing Sam Bachman and Justin Henderson. Justin Henderson's going to bring it back around the outside, though. Jesse Newsome, that line hasn't exactly buffed all the way out. These drivers trying to take it up high. There's still time to find along that bottom side. Jesse Newsome's going to do just that, and he's going to be oh so fast. 8,200 I rating on the kid. He's a good kid. He's very, very quick. Interview with him coming a little later here tonight. As Andrew Borton now going to be pressured by Jesse Newsome. But your battle for P6, which is your last transfer spot, is heating up between Christopher Perini and Justin Henderson. It's going to be the 63 versus the 36, although I don't think either of their cars say that. So Devin Howard, Anthony Morano, Jaden Sparisky, Jesse Newsome, Andrew Borton are your current safe drivers. Christopher Perini on the hot seat now, 12 laps to go. Justin Henderson is right behind him, or was right behind him. I guess I stand corrected. Justin Henderson's had a little bit of a moment, or Perini has just caught a whole lot of pace because he is now miles down the track from Justin Henderson. That's going to be that battle pretty much done. Now Crispy going to look to go for the 0-2 of Andrew Borton, who is sitting in P5. He made the show last week. He didn't have that good of a showing, if I remember correctly. I do so many of these broadcasts a week that it all becomes a blur at some point, and that point was a long time ago. Jesse Newsome has already moved his way into P2. He is just absolutely cooking, as Devin Howard does have a 1 second lead over him. There is still 9 laps to go. Will Jesse Newsome fight? Will he try to make his way into the feature race here? 8 laps to go. Justin Henderson still very, very far behind Christopher Perini. It's going to be 1.6 seconds. So your field, assuming nothing happens to these top 6 guys and they don't wreck each other or crash themselves, or, you know, whatever the case may be, your top 6 going to the feature is going to be Devin Howard, Jesse Newsome, Anthony Morano, Jaden Sparisky, Andrew Borton, and Christopher Perini. 6 laps to go now that Devin Howard has crossed the start-finish line. So in due time, Devin Howard will have a Consi win under his belt, and he will be moving on to the show here tonight at Port Royal. Lead now jumped up to 2 seconds between Perini and Justin Henderson. Perini going to actually make a very smooth overtake on the 0-2 of Andrew Borton. Andrew Borton going to cross it over, going to try to bring it back around, get on the inside of Crispy. Oh, they're going to battle. Elbows are out. Crispy kind of got pushed up the track a little bit. That's going to drop the lead from 2 seconds down to 1.76 when it comes to Justin Henderson, who is in P7. There is a world where these two might collide into each other, and Justin Henderson might be able to squeak by. Sam Bachman is on the tail of Justin Henderson as well, so, I mean, there might be a chance these two drivers get in as well. If you take a look, there's the 007 of Sam Bachman. Joshua Mulwee, Evan Horton going to be behind them. They are not going to make it into the show, unfortunately, here tonight. Dylan DeWert also not going to make it. So his championship aspirations are halted for tonight. I'm not going to say it's killed. I'm not going to say it's over by any means, but the chase for the top of the championship standings has been put on halt. Jesse Newsome has got around Devin Hauer. In the process, he ran a purple lap with an 18.36. White flag in the air. There's not much to this little battle that these gentlemen are having, Devin Hauer and Jesse Newsome, but they're going to have it anyway. Jesse Newsome, though, around the top, going to make it look easy. He is going to win. Devin Hauer second. Jaden Sparisky, Anthony Morano, Christopher Perini. Justin Henderson is going to get past Andrew Borton. Oh, no. What happened there? Look at that slider from Justin Henderson. Andrew Borton had a little bit of a moment, and he was not able to get in. So a last lap heist for Justin Henderson. Oh, no. And that is going to be the first consolation out of the way. A heartbreak for the 0-2 of Andrew Borton. Oh, no, no, no. It was not supposed to be like this. As we'll go through your starting grid for the race tonight, second consolation, Tyler Bickford going to be on pole with Tyler Nauf. In P2, Cameron Carrington, James Gray, Jacob Isaac, Jacob Owens, Logan Wentz, Amber Woods, Dwayne Hobbs, James Murphy, the Twisted Speed driver, going to round out your top 10. Colton Wilson and Jeffrey Hyatt going to make up P11 and P12. So it's our last race before the feature here tonight. 6 of these drivers will advance, 6 will not. If you're the likes of Tyler Bickford, Cameron Carrington, then there is no other option. The only option is to advance. You got to get in the feature race. Because the only time this grid can breathe is when Jesse Newsome has had a bad week. And fortunately for them, that has struck the past 2. Mason Cassidy taking the race back-to-back last week and the week before. So you know Jesse Newsome's going to have something to come back on this week. Tyler Bickford knows that if he wants to have a good performance in the feature tonight, first, well, he has to get there. He is going to do exactly that, or at least try to, as he gets out to a half-second lead over Tyler Nauf very, very quickly. Cameron Carrington in P3. Your hot seat going to go to the 18 Full Throttle Motorsports driver of Logan Wentz, I apologize. Jacob Owens did just try to get past him in the number 66, or in the number 21, I apologize. That is the 66 of Jeffrey Hyatt, kind of just unfortunately running all over those poor drivers. He is going to make his way into P5, though. He is not playing around with anybody. He wants to get into the feature just as bad as everyone else. So Jacob Owens around the top. He is going to be on your hot seat. James Murphy getting past him now. That makes James Murphy the last guy in. James Murphy obviously has a ton of good performances here this season. He's in the top 10 of the championship, representing Twisted Speed. So you know they're going to want to be putting on a show here in the feature tonight. Same for Tyler Bickford and Jeffrey Hyatt, who both represent Midwest Sim Sports. Amber Woods is going to be a lap down, unfortunately. Oh, Amber Woods has actually left the session. So that is not good. Colton Wilson, Logan Wentz, Jacob Owens now trying to fight, but there is unfortunately just not really a world where they are going to be able to do anything about it. Jeffrey Hyatt now battling with James Murphy. This is for P5, so both of these drivers are in, mind you, so really no reason to be going as crazy or as close as they are, but to each his own. If they want to do it, so be it. Dwayne Hobbs will be right there ready to strike. I can assure you of that. He currently runs P7. Not really a whole lot of battles going on. Tyler Nauf is getting closed on by Jacob Isaac. That's going to be him in the 0-2-3. 8 laps to go. As these drivers make their way around Port Royal just a few more times, and then they will be into the feature. Here comes Jacob Isaac, not afraid to get his elbows out on Tyler Nauf, coming down the front straight. 7 laps to go. That's going to be a wall hit for Tyler Nauf. I don't think that's going to make him too much faster, but here he comes around the crossover. Tyler Nauf doing a very, very good job of defending his positions. He's not going to let anybody walk all over him. But Jacob Isaac has an incredible run coming out of turns number 3 and 4. That's going to give him a little bit of an advantage. Tyler Nauf now, I think maybe, I don't want to snitch, I don't want to tell on anyone, but I believe he might be doing the little wall glitch thing. Once again, 5 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. It just blows my mind the amount of just debauchery that goes on in the dirt oval community on iRacing. There's always these glitches, man. There's always something going wrong with the iRacing dirt discipline. Oh no, 65 of James Murphy gonna have heavy contact with Jeffrey Hyatt, man. These two need to calm down. They don't want to wreck. They're both making it into the show. Jeffrey Hyatt just honestly being a bully out there to these drivers here in the consolation. James Murphy gonna bring it back with a crossover. 3 laps to go. Tyler Bickford still leading this race. Cameron Carrington, Jacob Isaac, Tyler Nauf, James Murphy, Jeffrey Hyatt, going to make up your top 6. Those are going to be the ones currently transferring in. It's going to be 1.5 seconds back to Dwayne Hobbs in the 159. So Jeffrey Hyatt's got a 1.5 seconds to play with, but he doesn't want to crash. 2 sticks down, says Barney. That's going to be 2 laps to go. As we get moving here towards the white flag, Tyler Bickford is going to take the white flag in the 0-7. So coming across the line, Consi number 2, Tyler Bickford's gonna win it. Cameron Carrington in P3, Jacob Isaac, James Murphy, Tyler Nauf, Jeffrey Hyatt. Gonna be your top 6. Dwayne Hobbs, Jacob Owens, Logan Wentz, Colton Wilson, Amber Woods, James Gray. Unfortunately, your guys' night is over. And with that, the sun's going to be starting to set. We're going to get under the lights here at Port Royal. We're going to be going feature main event racing, 80 laps around. But before we do that, while these drivers warm up, let's take a look at the 2nd episode of the Bulletin Board and this week's guest, Jesse Newsom. On this week's episode of the Bulletin Board, the number 11 driver from C2C, it's Jesse Newsom. Jesse Newsom. Jesse Newsom. Jesse Newsom. How are you feeling heading into the new week? And more importantly, how's everything over at Coast to Coast? How's that camp going?
Oh yeah, we're doing as good as we can be, I guess. so far into the season. Everybody at Coast to Coast doing good too. We've been focusing more on picking up newer guys and just overall helping everybody out and trying to get everybody a little bit better than they already are. And yeah, like I said, we've been bringing on a lot of new people and getting them really good. We've, especially in the league and stuff, we've picked up maybe 4 or 5 guys that I've been helping. Mason Cassidy, he's been on Coast to Coast for a while, Willie Cuddy, Holden Allen, he was leading most of the race at, not leading most of the race, but he was up front most of the time at Lincoln. And Kyler Bronson, he led the whole race at Volusia. So, we've been putting in a lot of time and definitely improving everybody.
Well, that is good to hear. You are the championship leader. You've got 2 wins on the season. Unfortunately, you had a little bit of a downfall last week. You had P15 at Lincoln Speedway. Not what you want to see. Let's go back and have a look again. Wow, wow. Now, being that Mason Cassidy went back-to-back there, it is a coast-to-coast teammate. How does Coast to Coast feel about the week overall? And more importantly, how do you feel?
I was definitely bummed. I felt like, obviously Mason had a good piece. He came out with the win and pretty much dominated the whole race. And I don't know if the reason got out yet, but yeah, we were, I got up to second pretty quick there, and I don't know what is up with my wheel. I have a Fanatec and I've had it for about 5 years, and now it's like if my leg bumps the cable, it just randomly disconnects. So it disconnected and shot me into the wall, and pretty much ended my run. And like I said, with Holden, I've been building setups and helping him. Same thing with Mason and Willie, and Coast to Coast feels good about it. It's nice to find a new league, and especially be running up front most of these weeks, and knowing that we have a really good shot at winning the championship no matter where we go. Whether it's, we got pretty close in Pro Series. I think 1 or 2 of us were in the top 5 there for a little bit, and now in this series, we've got most of us in the top 10. So, yeah, definitely feeling good about last week, even though most of us wrecked, but we're looking forward to tomorrow actually at Port Royal. So we're looking forward to it.
Well, that was just a little taste of the Bulletin Board Episode 2 with Jesse Newsom. You can find the full interview tomorrow on the Outpost Racing Network YouTube channel, which is right here. You're already in the right spot, so go ahead, hit that subscribe button so you never miss content similar to this. Make sure you ring that bell so you're notified every single time we either go live or upload a video to the Outpost Racing Network. It was a very, very fun interview with Jesse Newsom. Very good kid. Very, very hungry. Very inspired. Very motivated to just get on the sim every single day and be better than he was yesterday. And that is, hey, that's the main name of the game. I mean, it really is. When you're talking about racing, and you saw it, on my mission board there, on the bulletin board, have faith in the failure. Have fun. Embrace the failure. There is joy in uncertainty, people. Not everything has to be conquered the first second you try it. Sometimes failing is the ultimate sugar on the cake of success. And as the warm-up gets settled in and we get finished, drivers going to make their way back to their pit stalls. We're going to wait a little bit. Lights are going to come out here at Port Royal Speedway. There's the shot of victory lane. It's the Speed Palace for a reason. Oh man, I cannot wait to see what we have here tonight. As for your starting grid, It's going to feature Jeffrey Hyatt, Justin Henderson, starting in row number 12, Tyler Nauth and Christopher Perini. Going to make row number 11, James Murphy, Anthony Moreno, Jacob Isaac, Jaden Sparisky, Cameron Carrington, Devin Hauer. That's going to get you up to P15. Tyler Bickford and Jesse Newsom going to be in row number 7. That's going to be a very, very fun mid-pack battle to watch as we start racing here at Port Royal. Moving on to your top 12. It's going to be Jason Wilson, Cody McDonald, Willie Cuddy, Nate Wimhoff, Brandon Schatz, Dylan Del Mastro, Brandon Jones, Dane Norris. Gonna start your top 5. Kyler Bronson is going to be in P4. Chase Copeland, part of Midwest Sim Sports, he is going to be P3. Landon Rourke is going to be in P2. And your pole sitter for round 5 at Port Royal Speedway, it's going to be the 94 Super Late model of Holden Lee Allen. The drivers set and ready to get away here into the brightness of the lights at Port Royal Speedway here in Port Royal, Pennsylvania. Oh man, it's the Speed Palace. I cannot wait, man. I actually had to buy Port Royal Speedway today, as the iRacing, the SDK tower is still not wanting to work. That is so weird, man. I've changed every setting known to man here. Cannot get it fixed. Don't know what the deal is. It doesn't matter, man. We're about to go green flag running here. It's the main event. It's round 5. It's the Crown Jewel Tour here on the Outpost Racing Network. We are green in Pennsylvania. 80 laps, actually 75. Oh, okay. Well, we're already getting into action into the mid-pack. Kyler Bronson's going to be held up big time. Nate Wimhoff, Willie Cuddy also going to have to take a piece of that unfortunate, unlucky pie, as they are going to lose a few spots here on the grid. Coming back around, Chase Copeland has got himself up one position. He has passed Landon Rourke. Landon Rourke having so much trouble getting around the corners right now. Holden Allen off to a fantastic start. Going to be a 17.55 for him. Chase Copeland running just a tenth and a half under that at a 17.69, I apologize. Dylan Del Mastro in the number 62. Oh, look at Willie Cuddy. He's around Dylan Del Mastro. Or I take that back. He's around Nate Wimhoff. Landon Rourke's having issues as well in the 10. Dropped back 6 spots already. We're only 5 laps in, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon Jones has had a bad go at it, too. He's lost 9 positions. Started this race in P6 for Midwest Sim Sports. He now finds himself in P14, so it's going to be 8 spots down. Oh, look at him. He's just running over Devin Hauer. Devin Hauer not going to appreciate that. I can guarantee you that. These Full Throttle Motorsport drivers, they do not take anything. Nate Wimhoff in the number 48 has cracked into the top 10 in the championship standings. He is going to be running P5. More importantly, that's going to be a purple lap for him with a 17.41. Jesse Newsom already up 6 spots into P7. Next challenge is going to be Kyler Bronson, though, and Kyler Bronson is a very, very quick lad. We know that from seeing him in just the few weeks that he has been racing here in the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour. But Jesse Newsom is inevitably going to get around Kyler Bronson, and it's only a matter of time before Jesse Newsom's chasing down the next target. That's going to fall into the unwanting arms of Nate Wimhoff. I'm sure seeing Jesse Newsom behind you on the relative is not a good sight to see at all. Dylan Del Mastro now trying to work a move on the 110 of Chase Copeland. Heading into turns 1 and 2. Let's go over the lines. It looks like Copeland, Del Mastro, and Cuddy are all running identical lines. It's going to be P2, P3, and P4. As now, Dylan Del Mastro with a good rundown onto Chase Copeland. Chase going to try to set the car low. He's going to be doing everything in his power to keep things up towards the front of the grid. That does seem to be a reoccurring problem with Copeland, unfortunately. He does seem to always find himself defending his position rather than going for a position. And that, unfortunately, leads to a lot of races where you can't really do anything about it, but you're just going to end up going down positions because you're always stuck battling. Nobody can be perfect 100% of the time. Manuel Neuer proved that in the 2000s and 2010s with Bayern Munich. One of the best goalkeepers we have ever seen in our lives. Chase Copeland still in P2. We've got a big battle going down between Dane Norris and Devin Howard. Cody McDonald also, unfortunately, has kind of found himself in this battle. Just a few laps ago, he was a few tenths ahead of this. Now they are knocking right on the door of the number 28, and Cody McDonald, who unfortunately is probably going to phase his way out of the top 10 in the championship here tonight unless he can turn things around. Something can really happen. And to be fair, we are only 15 laps into this race. Anything can happen. We've still got 60 laps to go here at Port Royal. Man, what a fun time it has been. Once again, appreciate you guys all coming in and doing the Outpost Racing Network. It appears the YouTube Southeast server farm attack still hasn't really recuperated because I am still only getting 1 bar on my OBS. Only sitting at about 4,000 when I should be sitting at about 14,000. If you're familiar with those numbers, you're going to know what that means. If not, it doesn't matter. Let's just focus on the racing. Chase Copeland now has attracted a pack, and this is kind of what I've been saying, unfortunately. Chase Copeland stuck defending, and it looks like there are a lot of people that want to get out ahead of him now. Chase Copeland is going to be within half a second of Holden Allen, so that's going to make things a little better for him. He has a car that he can kind of maybe get a little bit of toe off of. I mean, let's be honest, it's Port Royal. These straights are pretty long. I would not doubt if the draft really is a thing in these cars. Probably, I mean, 1,000th of a second that you're getting off of it, but surely it is something, as that's going to be contact between Del Mastro and Cuddy towards the back of your screen there. The 62 and 23 going to blows. Going to blows for whatever reason, as that's going to be just good news for Nate Wimhoff. He sits in the number 48. He's up 4 spots. He's got Jesse Newsom right behind him, but more importantly, he's got a battling Copeland, Del Mastro, and Cuddy, who, if something happens, you know, worst case scenario for them, best case for Nate Wimhoff, he could sneak his way up into a free P2 here. But drivers have completed 22 laps working on number 23. And, you know, dare I say it, but I cannot believe we've gone this long without a caution. Typically, the drivers up the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour, they are very clean, they are very good, very professional. However, things do tend to happen at the beginning of the race, and then they kind of get sorted out, and the end of the race typically goes pretty long on a green flag run, but these drivers getting straight to the point off the drop of the initial green. They have one goal. They want to do as good as they possibly can. These drivers are getting to work. Speaking of getting to work, Willie Cuddy had a move prepped on Dylan Del Mastro. He couldn't get all of it, though, so he was not able to get around. Dylan Del Mastro, part of BMSS, still going to be in P3, and what a result it would be for BMSS if Dylan Del Mastro could get on the podium here tonight. He's going to go for a move on Chase Copeland. Look at that speed that Dylan Del Mastro is carrying into that corner. Chase Copeland gonna go for the crossover, but he cannot match it. Dylan Del Mastro just sent his car into that corner at God knows what kind of speed. And it actually worked out for him. That is a little insane. But Dylan Del Mastro has a very, very comfortable grip on his car. And this could be Del Mastro's night. He's ripping the top side. He's looking very, very fast. Jesse Newsom was able to get around Kyler Bronson. He's now working on Nate Wimhoff. It's going to be down to the inside, throwing a fat slider. And maybe that is just the meta here. Meta for anybody unaware or not in the gaming world as much as I am, which is chronically. Meta stands for most efficient tactics available. So basically, if you hear the word meta, it just means they are min-maxing down to every minute detail on how to be the fastest possible. And if that means going 140 into the corner and sliding it in as hard as you can, then hey, so be it, man. Chase Copeland now dropped 2 positions, and we have a yellow flag out now. That is going to be a heaven send for the 110 of Chase Copeland. He had just lost 2 positions there in the span of 2 or 3 laps. He now sits in P4. We'll go back and take a look. I believe it might have been Anthony Morano who might have been up to something here. You see him in the 32. Yeah, he's just going to catch the wall. Oh, no. Yeah, that's going to be a front hood off. Not the hood, but that's going to be the front end off. And yeah, he is going to just run that thing right into the pit lane. So that is going to be our first yellow of the night here at Port Royal. Here's a look back at what happened to Chase Copeland here in the 110. As you see, Dylan Del Mastro, he got the look. He got the look through the slide job. Chase Copeland wasn't able to keep it, wasn't able to cross it over and get that place back. And now here comes Willie Cuddy. See how Willie Cuddy is just sending the car into the corner. I mean, so fast. You see Willie Cuddy. I'm sure that's using up a whole lot of tire here, so maybe Chase is playing the long game here. But, I mean, look at Willie Cuddy. I mean, just the speed he sets his car in the corner. And that is incredible. Rubbin is racing as well. That's going to be very good moves done by Dylan Del Mastro and Willie Cuddy. As we head back live, iRacing official pace truck probably going to go one more time around, I would assume. We haven't been... Oh, no. iRacing official pace truck is going to come in. We are right back to racing here, folks. First caution going to be done and dusted. We start for the second time. It's going to be Holden Allen once again, who has the button. He is going to push it very, very early, but Willie Cuddy was very, very keen on that. We are back green here at Port Royal. And oh, look at Jesse Newsom down on the inside of Willie Cuddy. No, he's not going to be able to find an angle. Oh, that's going to be a whole lot of meat. That's big meat madness behind these drivers as Kyler Bronson, Chase Copeland, Nate Wimhoff all going to make contact. Dylan Del Mastro has now found himself in that group. So Chase Copeland now down 3 spots. He was running P2, started the race P3. He now sits in P6. So it's going to be 4 spots down from his best, 3 spots down from where he started. Here's another Midwest Sim Sports driver, Jeffrey Hyatt, who has, unfortunately, not had the best of nights so far. He is up 12 spots, but You know, when you think about it, he doesn't ideally want to be starting dead last of the feature, so these 12 spots that he has now made up, he's worked very hard to make these spots up, but now he's kind of like, okay, now my race can actually begin, as we only have 40 laps left, so it's going to be tight work to make something happen here. Holden Allen still going to lead the way. Willie Cuddy right behind him. Jesse Newsom, that C2C driver and championship leader, going to be behind them in P3. That's going to be another caution in the air. Looks like Dylan Del Mastro has had a little bit of a moment. We'll go back and take a look. This is going to be him. And, oh, no! He's also going to get into the 110 of Copeland. And, oh, no. Chase Copeland not letting anything up there. 10 of Cameron Carrington. Also going to be pretty much destroyed. Justin Henderson in the same field as well. It's going to be a whole lot of drivers going into the pit lane. Dane Norris, Jason Wilson, Brandon Jones, Landon Rourke, Bickford, Isaac, Del Mastro, Morano, and Henderson. All out, or all in, I should say, to the pit lane. As Holden Allen still going to be holding the lead. Hey, did you guys like that? Hey, that was a good one. That was a funny. Willie Cuddy going to be in P2. Jesse Newsom in P3. Kyler Bronson, Chase Copeland. Going to round out your top 5. Nate Wimhoff, Cody McDonald, Brandon Schatz, Jaden Sparisky, Devin Hauer. Going to make up your top 10. Drivers have completed, I think, around 35 laps. So we're going to have about 40, 39, possibly 38 to go. So the job is about halfway finished for Holden Allen. He's got to make it through the second half of this race if he wants to be perfect. Green to checkered leader. What a convincing win it would be, considering the Titans that he has around him. Chase Copeland gonna be sent to the back off the decision from race control. So he is going to have a big piece of work laid out in front of him if he wants to get good points here tonight. Lights on the iRacing official pace truck are going to go out. That only means one thing. It is time to go racing again. It's going to be our second caution of the night, our third restart. And is the third time the charm here at Port Royal. Holden Allen has been fantastic throughout the first half of the race. Is he going to improve? Will he clutch up? Will he hold the lead? We ride on board with your leader, Holden Allen, as we go green in the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour. And the amount of RPMs that they are pushing out of those super late models, man, it is insane. As those cars are screaming by the time they get to the end of the straight, whether it be the front or back straight. Jesse Newsom now in P2. Landon Rourke has had a moment. That's going to be our third caution of the night. Let's go take a look. Oh, Landon Rourke just going to get into the wall, and then unfortunately, it's going to get caught up on the catch fence. It's going to, oh no, the tires aren't going to be able to make contact, and Landon Rourke's just going to be stuck in the mud. So that is the reason the yellow flag went out. We'll see if the admin team, if the race control team can try to get everybody bunched back up so we can go green quickly here. As that is, unfortunately, one of those cautions that you have to throw it. You just have to. It's a car stopped on the track, but it's one of those where, you know, dang. That was very, very unlucky. We could have easily went back racing if his right tires were just touching the ground. As that is not going to be the case. Take a look. Lights are going to stay on the iRacing official pace truck, so that means we will do 2 more laps around here. And with that being said, I've got to get more water, man. This has been a fantastic main event here in the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour racing at Port Royal. I'm going to step away for just 1 second, get some water. I will be back by the time we go green. As we're going to have 3 pace laps here. Wasn't expecting to get the full 3. But it is going to happen. Chase Copeland has brought it in. His race is over. Poor sight for the 110 of Chase Copeland, who was very, very fast. Through a majority of this race, but unfortunately started to fall backwards and end up getting knocked out. Holden Allen, Jesse Newsom, Willie Cuddy going to be your top 3. Kyler Bronson, Nate Wimhoff going to make up the top 5. As we get set to go racing, iRacing official pace truck going to make his way into the infield. Holden Allen going to bring the pack around as we get started for the 4th time here tonight at Port Royal. We are green, 35 laps left. That's the 23 of Willie Cuddy getting into a little bit of action in turns 1 and 2 with Nate Wimhoff. Kyler Bronson going to be there on the top side as well. Going to try to get around the 48 of Nate Wimhoff, trying to work his way towards the 23 of Willie Cuddy. Was in focus now, and that's going to be another yellow. I definitely, and I mean definitely, jinxed it, did I not? I commentator cursed. Tyler Navs at a moment. We'll go take a look in the number 41. Oh, Chase Copeland. Oh. Chase Copeland was back out on track. I don't know how much longer he will be on the track. is. Chase Copeland going to be into the back again, as he is down 13 spots into P16. Jesse Newsome, in light of all that, got the position around Holden Allen. We'll go back and take a look at it. This happened 3 seconds before the yellow flag came out, and I actually mean that, 3 seconds. And it's because he crossed the line ahead. He crossed the line ahead of Holden Allen, giving him the lead for the lap. What an incredible drag race to the line from Jesse Newsome. That's going to be a big advantage here as we get ready to go green once again. iRacing official pace stroke going to make more than likely only one more lap around the circuit here at Port Royal, Pennsylvania. It's been a fun night of racing so far. We've still got about 30 or so odd laps to go. And man, won't that be a joy to see. As the racing was very good. Racing was amazing in the first half of this race. Unfortunately, we've been riddled with cautions for the majority of the latter half of the race. There's still time for some good green flag runs. But it's going to have to come soon. It's going to have to come in the form of, more than likely, Willie Cuddy, Holden Allen, Kyler Bronson going to be battling for P2. Those three machines have been near identical on pace all night. Last lap, average lap actually being an 18.82, 18.88, and an 18.90 from those three drivers. That is your average lap. So those guys are running almost identical pace. It's going to be very interesting to see how that all comes to a head once we go green here again at Port Royal Speedway, round 5 of the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour. Make sure to check out all of those sponsors in the top right. If you need any information on that, you can go to the No Limit Racing Discord. Find out everything you want to know on these sponsors. We are in the pitch black of the night here at Pennsylvania, but the lights are bright here at Port Royal. We go green here again. Chase Copeland is apparently in the lead for some odd reason. But he is not. I can assure you, your leader is Jesse Newsome here in the number 11. Willie Cuddy, though, trying his best with a very shallow slider line. That's going to just allow Holden Allen to get up towards the back of his car. He might be prepping an overtake here. It's going to be close. Can he get down on the inside? No, he can't. Willie Cuddy going to set the car very quick. But here comes Holden. Oh, but Willie Cuddy with an amazing block there. Kyler Bronson's going to get to see all of this. He's going to get to learn how these drivers battle. Because here in just a few laps' time, I assume he's going to be going for a move of his own. Kyler Bronson's self-operation. Kyler Bronson Motorsports. He's doing his best to drive this 40 car to the best of his ability. These super late models on a track like this can be really tricky in the corners, but on the straight, man, is it fun to hear them cry. The high RPMs of the super late model trying to squeeze every single revolution they can out of that car before it gets to the corner. Drivers boasting a top speed of around 134 miles an hour here. So, I mean, just insane work from these guys. They are setting the car in so quick. Kyler Bronson in the 40, still chasing down Holden Allen and Willie Cuddy. Willie Cuddy now moving into P2. It's a very good battle between these three. I figured it would be once I read you guys the average lap time. These three guys, so quick. Here comes Jeffrey Hyatt. He's up 19 spots into P5 for Midwest Sim Sports. Hyatt having an incredible race. James Murphy as well. Look at him. So on a night with no Mason Cassidy, a lot of these drivers stepping up, trying to take that throne back. Mason Cassidy was on a roll, winning the past 2 races. He will not race here tonight. But so be it. The racing is still just so good. Willie Cuddy here battling Holden Allen. Holden was holding the lead. I know I used that already, but I'm being serious. He was holding the lead very, very well. And then the Jesse Newsom show arrived in what seems to be very ordinary fashion. But now Willie Cuddy, who was a driver that a lot of people had pegged as a favorite here. Jesse Newsom, Willie Cuddy, that's going to be the number 10 of Cameron Carrington, who is turned around in the front straight. As we're going to go back and take a look. Dylan Domastro's car just has seen so much. He's been in so many incidents already here tonight. And there's another one, just 2 drivers fighting over the same real estate. But as I was saying, Willie Cuddy, he was pegged as one of the favorites. Jesse Newsom, Chase Copeland, Willie Cuddy were the 3 names I was hearing the most as the hype got built up towards the regular season here. And Willie Cuddy, he hasn't really had a platform to shine on. He unfortunately hasn't really had a lot of moments. He's got one here now, though, as we're creeping down on 20 laps to go. I believe we're going to be 22 or 23 when the green flag flies again. But Willie Cuddy, very, very close to bagging himself a win. He got the caution. Jesse Newsom now isn't going to be on the roll that he was just a few laps prior before the yellow flag came out. So anything truly is possible here on a Monday night in Port Royal, Pennsylvania. Lights on the iRacing official pace truck are going to go out. That means we are green. Pace car going to pull in to the safety of the pit lane once again. It's been fast almost every single line on this track at some point tonight. What is going to be the fast line as we head down to 20 laps to go? Jesse Newsom going to get us started for the 6th time here tonight, but here comes Holden Allen. On the bottom, he's going to follow Jesse Newsom in, and that's going to be an overtake on Willie Cuddy. Here comes Cuddy, trying to bring it back on the inside of Holden Allen, but hold up for Nate Wimhoff. Here he comes around the bottom. He is going to try to pull off a heist for a couple of these spots. Brandon Schatz running in P6, a driver you know, no offense, but you don't typically see him up here towards the top of the grid here at No Limit Racing. However, he is doing a fantastic job. Jesse Newsom, once again, going to take advantage of all of these cars battling, and he is going to push his lead out. 20 laps to go. We're getting very close to seeing the end product of the race here at Port Royal. How will it look in 20 laps time? How will the championship standings look in 20 laps time? Who knows? The points won't be posted until tomorrow, but we'll get an idea based off the results of this race. And here's the TLDR, man. Jesse Newsom started the race in P13 after staying at P7 for 10-15 laps. He has made his way up the grid. He now leads the race, and at this point, it's starting to become a question of, does it even really matter where Jesse Newsome starts, man? He can be at the back, he can be in the middle, he can be up front. It does not matter. The dude's just gonna get to the front anyway. If he's in the front, he'll stay. If he's not in the front, he'll get there. I mean, that is almost a guarantee. In our world today, Kyler Bronson is unfortunately going to be stuck where he started. He sits in P4, and with only 16 laps left, he's going to have to make something happen. He's going to have to do it fast. That is not the play, though. That's going to compromise his exit speed. Nate Wimhoff is going to creep ever so closer. We cannot forget about Brandon Schatz, like we said, in the number 34, that Midwest Sim Sports driver. He's got the 316 of Devin Hauer all over him. Devin Hauer, fantastic driver, as all these drivers are. It goes without saying. But Devin Hauer is one of those guys who know he's not going to be chasing for a championship, but he is one of those guys that he can win on any given day. There is so much raw pace in him and the car behind him, as a matter of fact. Tyler Bickford, he is incredibly fast as well. So all these drivers doing their best to try to catch up to the man in charge, number 11. Jesse Newsome looks to extend his championship lead. He's already got a 1-second lead on the 23 of Willie Cuddy. We unfortunately don't really have a battle until P5. Brandon Schatz is going to blink. It was a cube. They were cubed up 2 by 2. Whenever all that happened, Brandon Schatz got disqualified. As I'm not entirely sure what for, unless it was for the connection. Then in that case, I do see the point for it. But Brandon Schatz, what a good race he was about to have. He was fighting Holden Allen for P5. Which Holden Allen battling for P5 30 laps ago, you would have said that was impossible. He was doing a very good job leading this race. Unfortunately, I think he might have just used up all of his stuff a little too early. As a result of that, Jesse Newsome is going to be the current leader. Holden Allen all the way down in P5. Besides, Holden Allen has gained positions. Here comes Crispy. He sits in P9. He's kind of in no man's land. He doesn't really have anybody to battle right now, but he started the race in P21 and has ended up in P9. Very, very good points finish for Christopher Perini. Devin Hauer now has faced disqualification. Oh no, what are we seeing here at Port Royal? Jesse Newsome, 7 laps to go, is still going to be your race leader. As I am being told by the big boss man, Dana Burdick, excuse the voice crack there, that was actually not intentional, that was crazy work. But Dana Burdick has said that both drivers did reach the 12x incident counter. That did result in their disqualification. 5 laps now to go. You can tell the lull of these super late models has started to get a little quieter, as we do only have 17 of our 24, I take that back, 16 of our 24 cars actually running. And oh, here we go. Caution flag is out on lap number 70. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have 4 laps to go. Once we go green, we'll take a look. Jacob Isaac has had a little bit of a moment. We'll go take a look at him in the 23. That's just going to be, oh, up and over the berm. Oh, no. He's gone airborne. He has flown. Forget he has risen, he has flown. That's a bad joke, I apologize. But, nevertheless, Jacob Isaac up and over. The very small guardrail there, like a Royal Rumble match. Looking like Kofi Kingston when he failed the save in like 2017, I think is when that was, maybe 2019. We're looking like when Maven Hurricanrana Undertaker over the top ropes. Everybody was shocked at that one. Whole arena gasped. You could feel a pen drop. That's kind of the vibes that Jacob Isaac just gave. Just setting the car way too shallow, or way too deep, I guess, actually, would be the way to say it. Way too deep into the corner. Could not have time to get slowed down and turned in the right direction, therefore, flying over the fence. Lights on the iRacing official pace truck are going to go out. That means that we will be green next time by. Less than 10 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to do a single file start. It's going to be our 7th start of the night. This is now Willie Cuddy's opportunity to get forward, get something done. Holden Allen sitting in P5. This is a very good opportunity for him as well. A lot of these drivers sitting right behind Jesse Newsom are hungry for their first win here in the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour. Jesse Newsom going to pull the button early. We are green. 4 laps to go here at Port Royal. Look at Kyler Bronson getting into the wall. He's going to lose a whole bunch of space to Nate Wimhoff and Holden Allen. But he is going to make it up on the straight. He did wall tap a little bit for that momentum. Now 3 laps to go. Here comes Holden Allen down on the inside of Nate Wimhoff. Nate Wimhoff going to cross him over. Well done. Very agile from the 48 of Nate Wimhoff. As he now looks to try to prep a move on the 40 of Kyler Bronson. Oh no! Christopher Perini is going to get into Holden Allen. Jason Wilson's going to be involved as well. 2 laps to go, though. We are going to stay green. It was 2 sticks down. Now, Barney going to be showing Jesse Newsom the white flag. 1 more lap around Port Royal. His teammate Mason Cassidy took the win 2 weeks in a row. Now, your 2-time winner is going to make it a 3-time winner, the first of the Crown Jewel Tour this season. Jesse Newsom has done it for a 3rd time. Willie Cuddy going to be right behind him in P2. Kyler Bronson going to get a podium in P3. Nate Wimhoff, Holden Allen gonna barely miss out. They are gonna round out your top 5. Jason Wilson, what a result for him. He is gonna finish P6. Cody McDonald, Brandon Jones, Jaden Sparisky, and Crispy. Christopher Perini gonna finish in P10. That's gonna round out your top 10. What a heartbreak of a night for Copeland, Del Mastro, Howard, Bickford, Hyatt, and Cameron Carrington. Jesse Newsom going to burn it down like all winners should here at Port Royal. And what a fantastic race that we just witnessed in the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour. Round number 5 lived up to the hype. This was my first time even seeing a race at Port Royal. I did not have the track, so it was very, very fun to see. As our first interview is going to go to our P3 finisher here, the number 40 late model driver, Kyler Bronson. Kyler, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Not better now that I'm up here with you.
Yeah, man. Well, you had yourself one heck of a night. Walk me through it, man. How did it feel?
It felt pretty good. It was the first night basically on this tour that we haven't got trashed. So, yeah, it was pretty good.
Well, it was a battle the entire time. You had a very long green flag run to start the race. Unfortunately, you didn't really get to mimic that during any other, stage of the race, but you did an incredible job at leapfrogging positions during that run of cautions. Do you think the cautions are kind of what helped you get to the front, or do you think you would have done it under green flag circumstances anyway?
I think some of the cautions helped us out a little bit, but I feel like we were good enough where we could have ran third. We definitely didn't have a car to run first, but yeah.
Yeah, well, we head to Fairbury next week. It's going to be a very big culture shock going from a big track here like Port Royal to a small track like Fairbury. Now, for the Kyler Bronson Motorsports Camp, is that somewhere that you would like to go? Are you comfortable around Fairbury, or is it going to be kind of just a wing it and see kind of a week?
Uh, I think we'll be all right there. It's definitely not my best track on the game, but I think yeah, we'll be all right.
Well, that is good to hear. It's good to see you up here in the booth. Before we let you get out of here and celebrate, do you have anybody you want to shout out or thank for the performance?
Jesse Newsom, Justin Byram, Coast to Coast, Colton Jordan, Zach Jenkins, anybody on that team.
Well, that is good to hear. Coast to coast. It looks like maybe, yeah, all three spots on the podium here tonight going to coast to coast. So good to see that you are finding success here, Kyler. Hopefully we talk to you more often up here in the booth. Your P3 finisher here tonight, the number 40 driver of Kyler Bronson. And that is going to be Kyler Bronson. Good kid, very fast driver. We now switch gears to our driver that finished P2 here tonight at Port Royal. It's going to be Willie Cuddy. Will, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good myself. Would have preferred to finally finish first, but settling in with second, all right.
Yeah, I mean, settling in, it's Jesse Newsom at the end of the day. The dude is a titan on the sim. However, when it came to everybody else on the grid tonight, you were doing very, very well. You were sending your car into those corners very, very fast, and it only didn't work out about one time from what I saw. So, what was the strategy there? And do you think that was, kind of the main reason you moved up 8 spots?
At the beginning, I was pretty tight, and I've been kind of working all week to get it good on long run and short run. In order to get it good on both, I had to be tight, especially on cold tires and at the beginning, tacky track. So I was pretty much just driving that hard to stay turned, and then late race it tightened up on me a lot more than I anticipated. Yeah, it just played out in my favor, I guess.
Well, hey, sometimes the best luck is good luck. Or I said that completely wrong, but we're just gonna omit that. I forgot how to say it. But anyway, we're heading to Fairbury next week. Now that is a track that is going to pale in comparison to Port Royal. I mean, you've got a long track here, a very short track when you go to Fairbury. Do you think that big switch of things is going to kind of throw you off, or do you think Fairbury is going to be where you excel?
I haven't been too good at February myself. I've learned a couple things over the past couple days from Blake Majulis and all the guys over here at Coast to Coast. So we should be able to at least maintain position, if not hopefully gain one at Fairbury.
Yeah, of course. And obviously, you're going to be one of the fastest cars out there. You were one of the favorites to win the championship here this season. Going to be a big jump for you in the championship chase towards Jesse Newsom. But before we let you get out of here and celebrate your P2 and with your Coast to Coast teammates, is there anybody you want to give a shout out or thank for the performance here tonight?
I'd like to thank you and NLR for putting this on. I'd like to thank Jesse Newsom and all the guys over at Coast to Coast. Mason Cassie for missing it. Wouldn't have finished second if he was here. And Blake Majulis, and yeah.
Well, very, very nice to hear the kind words coming out of you guys. Coast to Coast shows me a whole lot of love over here on the Outpost Racing Network, so I do appreciate that. Hope you guys find a whole bunch of success. That's going to be your P2 finisher here tonight, Willie Cuddy. And moving on to our winner tonight, which was also the bulletin board guest for this week. It's going to be the number 11. He's claimed victory 3 times here in the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour. It's going to be Jesse Newsom.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me again. It's pretty crazy. You know, last night, it was said in the penalty report that I wasn't even going to be able to race tonight. And then, I pleaded my case on one of the penalties and, came out on top and got it reversed to, wasn't able to run my heat race. You know, I technically was able to run it. I just finished dead last. So I had to battle back through the B main and all sorts of trouble. But, you know, very fortunate to come out on top and get another win for Coast to Coast. And more importantly, we went 1, 2, 3 for the what I like to call the Coast to Coast racing group. Most of the people we've picked up that actually aren't on the team, but they've been working with me and getting a little bit better. So very glad to see that. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing. You said it yesterday during our interview for the bulletin board, which will be live on the YouTube channel tomorrow in its entirety. Had to cut it down a little bit here tonight, but you'll be able to get the full access to that tomorrow. But you said you loved helping the guys out. You loved helping Coast to Coast and all their affiliations out. And yeah, you know, you kind of touched on it, but you said it last night. You like being, you know, the IGL coach while driving, stuff like that. So just expand on that. You know, how does it feel for Willie Cuddy and Kyler Bronson to be right there behind you?
Oh yeah, it's great. I mean, obviously, if I don't win the race, I want one of them to win it, right? So it was unfortunate. Mason Cassidy, he had I think he had a party to go to tonight, so he wasn't able to make it. So he'll have to take one of his 2 drop weeks and move on. I'm sure he'll be good next week. But yeah, like you said, I very proud of Willie and Kyler of what they've been able to improve on over the time since the season has started. So you know, we're only going to get better. So I felt like we proved a lot tonight that you know, we belong up front really, no matter what track we go to or what the track state might be. You know, I mean, even typically we're running the top, so we seem to be pretty good at both ends of the racetrack, and we'll put in a lot of time as always for next week and see what we can do.
Yeah, well, before we let you get out of here and celebrate your 3rd win of the season, the floor is yours, man. Who do you want to thank or shout out for the performance here tonight?
First off, obviously everybody at Coast to Coast. You know, they helped me a lot, and love helping people. They love helping me a lot. So like I said, we only improve over there. So I want to thank everybody at Majula C, the main 2 guys, Blake and Evan, and of course Chris Ferguson with CFM. He helps me a lot, and want to thank Mason Cassidy. He's like I said, one of the main guys that sort of helps wrench with me, and we'll try things, and we may get to arguing with each other, but obviously we always come out on top. So glad to have him. He's one of my best friends, and glad we can race with each other. And want to thank Willie and Kyler. They, like I said, did really good tonight. And this whole field, it was a pretty clean race for the most part. Most of the cautions were just solo mistakes that people can learn on. So want to thank all the admins for putting it on. We had a little sit-down chat with them about a couple rules and things. Hopefully we can get those sorted out. But they're doing a really good job, and I'm proud of what they've put on, and I feel like it's going to be a good rest of the season. So just thank you for broadcasting and everybody that's a part of this deal.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate the kind words as well over here at the Outpost Racing Network, as I'm sure the No Limit Racing crew does also enjoy the kind words as well. Well, I'm going to let you get out of here and celebrate, Mr. Jesse. I'm sure the Coast to Coast guys got something lined up for you. That's going to be your winner here, extending his championship lead after round number 5. It's going to be Jesse Newsom.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
And that is going to do it for our coverage of the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour here tonight. It's been one excellent show, and it has been one heck of a night. Thank you guys for coming out, inviting me into your home here on a Monday night. It has been a very fun time. Once again, I apologize for the Southeast server farm outage for YouTube. I'm sure things are resolved now. I mean, it's been 2 hours, surely to God, but unfortunately, they never really gave me the bit rate that I have asked for with the stream. Never got the full 14,500, so I'm really sorry for how the stream looked here tonight. If there was anything I could do to fix it, trust me, I would 100%. That's going to do it here for our race tonight. Make sure you get in contact with the No Limit Racing crew if you want to run in any one of their series throughout the year that probably you are going to hear my voice on. I would hope so anyway. We're in the workings. We're in the, mulling and negotiation phase of trying to get locked down for that stuff. So hopefully you will be seeing me commentate, broadcast, produce some more No Limit Racing. But for now, that's going to do it. We'll take a look at your results here before we get on out of here. Or I thought we were. Come on. There we go. Jesse Newsom's going to take the win. Willie Cuddy, Kyler Bronson going to round out your podium. You heard from them just a moment ago. Nate Wimhoff, Holden Allen, Jason Wilson, Cody McDonald, Brandon Jones, Jaden Sparisky, Christopher Perini, James Murphy, Anthony Moreno, Cameron Carrington, Tyler Bickford, Jeffrey Hyatt, Jacob Isaac, Devin Howard, Brandon Schatz are going to make it to your top 18. Dylan Del Mastro, Tyler Nouth, Chase Copeland, Dane Norris, Justin Henderson, and Landon Rourke going to make up the rest of your grid. That's it for the coverage here tonight, folks. Hope you guys did enjoy. Remember to tune in next Monday, 7:30, for the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour Round 6 live from Fairbury. It's going to be one heck of a time. I cannot wait. I'm sure you can't either. But ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. We'll see you in the next one.